Welcome to another episode of the Health Coach Academy podcast. I'm your host, Omar Cumberbatch of OmarCumberbatch.com. Appreciate you joining me today, and we have another amazing guest. Really excited to share her with you. Her name is Terri Ross, and she is just amazing. I'm so excited to jump into the show and gather insights because, oh man, she's just killing it. There's nothing else to really say. She's a medical aesthetic business strategist, and she helps practices scale to seven figures and beyond using a special system that she's created. But what she really shares with us is a lot of the stuff that we do and understand as health coaches just starting out, which is really why we jump on this show on a regular basis to try to get these insights because it's so crucial to getting any business off the ground and really get into the mindset of really being a successful health coach and for any occupation for that matter. And she just really breaks down how like business is business and a lot of these skills are translatable. So I really appreciated her. As always, please leave a rating and review on iTunes. It goes a long way in supporting the show and continuously allows me to get amazing guests like Terri Ross. So let's jump into the show. Hey, Terri, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hey Omar, I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. Appreciate you jumping on the show. You are what health coaches aspire to, but just in a little different category, right?
Right? Like we're all look at we all want to have successful businesses and happy clients, right?
Absolutely. So, without any, hesitation, I want to just jump into it and get a little bit
Yep.
about your origin story,
Cool.
and just, tell us a little bit about yourself so we can familiarize ourselves.
Yeah, thank you so much. God, listen, I'm from Michigan, grew up in a suburbs of Detroit, and I wanted to be a doctor since I was a little girl. Went to medical school, and then I really realized that there was a need for the business side of medicine. So basically, I spent 16 years working in Fortune 500, like medical device companies. So I've worked in every therapeutic area, oncology, cardiology, endocrinology, dermatology, and got into aesthetics in 2007 as a VP of sales for device companies. And so I did that. I went with a company, launched a body contouring device. After that went IPO, I started Terri Ross Consulting. And really, we are a healthcare consulting firm helping cash-based clients, mainly plastic surgeons, medical spas, cosmetic dermatologists, integrative wellness practices. We're business coaches. So we help businesses be efficient and make money is the easiest way for me to say what we do.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's definitely what we want to do. We want to make money. We want to be successful.
Yeah.
What's fascinating about that particular market that you are targeting, there's just a lot of thought about saturation, right? Health coaches, I think,
Yeah.
specifically think it's a saturated market.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's the opposite. I think that there's so many people who need the services that it can't possibly be saturated. But I would love for you to talk about that a little bit, and if you agree with me, try to
Yeah.
dispel some of that myth.
Yeah, I thank you for the question and I appreciate your philosophy about it. I'm gonna say this because whether it's health coaches, hairstylists, right, Pilates studios, aesthetic businesses, it's cash. So number one, right? It's we have to, right, who is the avatar? And
Mhm,
while we could say that we share a population, which we do, everybody wants to look good, feel good, right? Look their best, feel their best.
mhm,
We could look at it as you're in a commodity and so am I, right? I'm in Los Angeles, right? Beverly Hills, one of the mecca of plastic surgery. But that is sort of a misconception for a lot of people. And while it is true, right, that I could call you and five other health coaches, somebody can be here and want a breast augmentation or Botox and call hundreds of people in a 3 mile radius.
mhm.
The difference is that I think people tend to look at it as they're selling a service, which is I'm going to help you with your nutrition counseling. This is an example, right?
Okay.
But what they're really doing is educating people on how to live a healthier life. The part about the education is still a sales tactic. It is, right? You want to talk to me, learn enough about me, and then give me a program that would benefit me, right? Where I think people lack in skill set whether I'm coaching a plastic surgeon or a med spa owner or an NP or a private equity group. And I'm going to show this because I wrote a sales training curriculum. And while I say it's sales training, it's an educational curriculum.
Okay.
And I think that the tendencies are that most people don't understand that getting someone to purchase your program is based on emotions.
Hmm.
And we have to get down to the needs of the person. I might want to eat better or lose weight, but you have to know how badly, like how badly that makes me feel. So
Hmm.
my decision to hire a nutritional coach is because I don't like how I feel, right? I'm insecure, I'm not confident, I'm overweight, whatever that is.
Hmm.
And that's how we're going to get around it. You guys, or in my world too, or doctors, me coaching doctors, is patients buy for an emotional reason. They make a decision based on logic, but they're buying because they don't like they had a baby and they don't like their saggy skin,
Hmm.
right? They're not buying the surgery or the laser, they're buying confidence.
Hmm.
And that's how we're able to close the gap. So you're right, there could be a ton of nutritional coaches. You just have to be better than everyone else. And the better than everyone else is that you deeply care about the result the patient wants and you're able to like ask the right questions in a discovery call. I'm sure, right? When
Yeah.
people call you to hire you, it's a discovery call, right? To see if it's a good fit. And I think that's where most people in a market that is highly competitive will win because they show a different value proposition.
Yeah, no, I've tried to study as much as I can about the psychological aspects of selling, which,
Yeah.
you're definitely touching on. How do you think that a health coach who's starting out should approach that? Definitely, obviously, there's training out there. There's definitely consultants who we can hire like yourself.
Mhm.
Is that the first step? Do you think that a health coach should be looking to do, or is there something else even before that step that they should take?
Yeah, I think look, I go back to just very basic business principles. And if anyone is going to choose to be a health coach, like what is the why? Like Simon Sinek wrote the book, right? What is really the true deep-seated why behind why do you want to be a health coach?
Mhm.
Then what credibility do you have or education or skills to be a health coach? Like why
Mhm.
would someone hire you? How can you back it up? And I say, like, what's your unique value proposition? And
Mhm.
can someone articulate that? So if it's me against you, right, or there's 10 health coaches in a 3 mile radius, how am I going to pick you?
Right.
Identifying that value proposition. And then who is the avatar client? Right? Is it obese people? Is it people that smoke? Is it people with high blood pressure? I don't know. Is it all of the above? Like, I think it's easy to message to a lot of people, but there's riches in the niches.
Mhm.
So who's your avatar? Like who is your client that you want to hire you and that you want to work with?
Mhm. How did you help people overcome that? Because I think that that's absolutely one of the most common things I hear in health coaching. It's like we want to help everybody, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we know that if you want to help everybody, you help end up helping nobody, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of
Right.
something that
Right.
I kind of understand. How do you talk to a health coach to kind of nail that in?
The same way I talk to my clients, which are again our med spas or plastic surgery or dermatology or integrative wellness.
Mhm.
I'll use this as an example. I know I owned a medical spa in Beverly Hills, and in a 3 mile radius, there were 350 people all doing the same services.
Wow.
Literally, you could just park your car and walk street to street to street to street, and there's like, 10, 20 people in the same building.
Mhm.
And so talking to health coaches is exactly the same way I'd say, okay, Dr. Omar, Dr. Terry, Dr. Smith, Dr. Larry, we all do boob jobs. Why would a client pick you?
Mhm.
Right? I mean, so consumers are already, for lack of better words, ignorant, right? They only know what they know. They only know what they see. They only know what they read. They only know what's on Instagram.
Mhm.
So it's a person getting very clear, whoever the health coach is. Like you have got to be very clear in your narrative on your website. That's the first thing people do. They're Googling health coach New York, right? Your brand, like what your brand equity is really important. Your logo, your colors, your messaging.
Mhm.
Like, does that stand out? So that if I'm up against you and other people, I'm like, oh my God, holy shit, he looks amazing.
Hmm.
His videos look great. The copy on the website looks really good. His testimonials and proof, social proof is there.
Hmm.
Those things have to happen. And then on the flip side, you, being a health coach or any other health coach, has to really say, you know what? I don't want everybody.
Hmm.
I want someone between, I'm making it up, right? 40 and 65 with these kinds of issues because this is what I can solve.
Hmm.
So if everyone could just sit down for a second and literally say, what do I solve?
Hmm.
And write all the things that your program or skills or expertise solves. And then say, okay, who fits that market?
Hmm.
Because if we're trying, like, to your point, if we're trying to get everybody, it's either going to be an unsuccessful program, they're not going to be compliant, and ultimately it may or may not be your fault, but you want happy people to that go tell everybody else. So really figuring out who your niche market is, I think, is really important in what you're solving.
No, I totally 100% agree. And I know that we do have issues sometimes coming to that conclusion of who we ultimately serving. And I hope that this show over 200 plus episodes is actually helping people figure that out,
Yeah.
which is great. And one of the things that I think that is common, especially, you mentioned the cash thing, right? We're supposed to be charging accordingly, right?
Mhm.
And what I loved about my research into you is that you help us establish like how much we should charge. You have
Yeah.
an awesome system that's at play. There's so many ways I can go about this particular angle, so I'm going to try to do it partially selfishly, but I think it would
Yeah.
help most people.
Yeah, of course.
Like, how did you establish like your system, if you won't mind going into it a little?
Yeah.
Because you're talking about revenues that health coaches can only dream of, right? And
Mhm.
I think it is absolutely attainable. I think that the need is there. I just wanted to let you go off on that a little bit and just kind of see how you come to that vision.
So I think one of the things that we teach businesses, and I'm going to say businesses because it's applicable.
Hmm.
In reality, we're selling time, right? So
Yeah.
we're trading time for dollars.
Right.
And that's a hard thing to do because it's not necessarily scalable unless we have a program that people can follow. But I think if we're trying to figure out how do we price, which is your question, right? How do you charge someone? So I think, and that's me understanding more about exactly how your or anyone's coaching program works. But I would anticipate there's some discovery form, right?
Yeah.
There's some intake evaluation. There's again, what are they trying to achieve, the client, and how long is that going to take?
Hmm.
And then is there supplements, right? Like at what point are they outsourced, right? Are you guys using your vetted partners? Are they getting these programs from everybody else? Is it food, diet, nutrition? Is it like that? So looking at what that is. And then we have to look at the result. So
Hmm.
what is the result that you are hoping a client gets? And again, is it a weight loss? Like whatever that is, okay?
Right. Hmm.
And how long does it typically take someone if they follow your methods to get there? 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 6 months. I get it that it's all going to be dependent on how compliant I am as your client.
Hmm.
But then you have to look at if we're selling time in reality, is there a cost of goods associated, right?
Hmm.
Labor, that means you have to pay yourself, right? If there's products, like you said, what is that gross profit
Hmm.
that someone has to hit? Does that make sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So it's almost like I'll use an example. If practices are like, well, I don't know how to charge for a neuro or a dermal filler. Let's call it that.
Okay.
This one syringe, 1 cc of a filler, let's say it costs the client $250. Let's say they charge 600. So it's 600, right? Minus 250.
Hmm.
That's the amount left, right? Minus labor, minus time. So
Hmm.
it's almost like a financial calculation.
Yeah.
That's going to spit out gross profit. If your gross profit isn't above 50%, the pricing's wrong.
Mm.
And it's math. And then you're like, oh, I'm not making money. I'm
Right.
losing money. Because let's just pretend there's G&A, right? Let's pretend you had a brick and mortar. Let's pretend it's your house. I don't care, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What other administrative things do you have to pay for? And so it's really comes down to math and results.
Right. Right. Yeah, because I think one of the things is, obviously the numbers that you talk about, and I've seen just amazing testimonials and
Thank you.
whatnot on your website, is is significant, but you can't do it in the manner that health coaches are taught in health coaching school. You get the certification and they kind of teach you, oh, you got to do this one-on-one thing. You may be a little more exotic and have group coaching, but it's just not, like you said, you can't
Yeah.
trade the dollars for hours.
Right.
It just doesn't
Right.
get to the stratosphere that we want
Yeah.
you to get us there, right?
Right. Right.
So I I think that's the hardest. Well, I shouldn't say the hardest. One of the hardest things that a health coach wraps their head around, that there has to be some duplication of efforts somewhere
Yeah.
else. Can you
Yeah.
talk about that? It seems logical, but
Well,
scaling is something I think when you get out of that school, it's so far down the road that they don't even have initial planning on doing it. So
yeah.
talk
Even
about.
I'll use myself, right? This is I don't know, maybe my fifth iteration of it.
Hmm.
And I teach it three ways. I either go physically on site to a plastic surgery or medical derm or a med spa. I either go on site, me or my team, or they'll hire us to do it virtually, which is a little bit more scalable because I can do it on Zoom,
Hmm.
but I'm focused on that particular practice.
Hmm.
Or you can make an online course.
Hmm.
And I think for any health coach, candidly, any coach, honestly, now whether somebody is going to be compliant or not is not your problem. You want it to be your problem,
Hmm.
but if they sign up for your program, you have to hope that the discovery for call was good enough that they understand it's a commitment. No one's going to lose weight, and not go to the gym, right? You can't want a new body and right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say the same thing. It's like, you can't go and use the same machine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think scalability for any coach, honestly, and you guys specifically, is how do we figure out what you offer or that works
Yeah.
in a scalable, repeatable manner so that you are not on the phone, right, all day, 8 hours, that you just can't. And if it works and you've proven it, then you back it up with social proof and you just back it up with the steps,
Hmm.
right? Phase one, do this. Phase two, do this, right? Phase three, do this. And if you do these things in this time frame, you should expect this result. So if you can tie what you teach, I'll use a KPI, a key performance indicator. It all has to be tied to a measurable outcome.
Hmm.
If you can tie what you teach to what is that outcome, whether it's X% weight loss, X% body fat, X% muscle mass, whatever it is, right, that you're hoping they want to achieve by a time frame with what your recommendations are, that's scalable.
Hmm.
Then I can follow. Okay, Omar told me in 30 days this should happen if I do these things. Then you make a program.
Hmm. That's it. Yeah, no, listen,
I I don't mean to make it sound so simple. It's not, but like part of it is like if you have the model that works, the other part, and it's the same for me. People have to, you have the right people, Omar, have to hire you want the right people. You don't want looky loos. I might want to lose weight, but maybe I'm not going to be dedicated to do it.
right.
And you don't want those people. They're never going to be happy.
Hmm.
And you guys all have to equally be okay to walk away, right? Because not everybody's going to be your person. You want the people who are committed, who are dedicated, right? You're like, there's no magic fairy dust that you can sprinkle on my body or right to make me healthier. I have to do the work.
Right. So this is always the thing that comes back to the cost, right? And I think I
Yeah,
always try to say, like, I think the pricing helps in that respect too. I don't think anybody wants to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get no results and they're just
right.
not committed to it. It's almost like we always talk about like the planet. I don't know if you have that in LA, the Planet Fitnesses of the world.
We used to. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like, people who are only paying $5 to go to the gym
Right.
and they miss a couple of months, they're like, it's $5.
Right. Right.
But
Exactly.
yeah, if you're
Yeah.
going to like Equinox, which is like one of the higher end ones,
We have it here. Yeah, it's like
yeah,
350 a month. And if you want all the locations, it's more. Yeah.
yeah. So you end up compliance is a little different there.
Yes.
So it helps out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm going to say, free advice. And I teach this in my thing. Because people could also complain, why is one boob job, 15,000, one's 5,000, and then somebody's 20,000, right? The prices vary depending
Yeah.
on state and location and geography. That said, is if we agree that people buy on emotional, right, emotions.
Hmm.
The question then becomes like, how committed are you, Omar, to this outcome? How committed are you to getting this result? How committed are you, Omar, to not feeling that way anymore?
Hmm.
Because the cost of the program to get you that result, right, will yield a 10x return, meaning in your life, like your quality of life. And so, what is somebody's quality of life worth to them
Right, right.
versus what they're going to pay?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, it would help health coaches to study this a little bit extensively, I should say, because that's the art of like the conversation that you need to have so that you can.
It is. And that, Omar, and look, I'm so blessed. I'm so humbled to have spent 20 years of my life studying sales, studying psychology, selling equipment, pharmaceuticals, devices, like
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars of things, selling services. And it is really, and even in my world, they don't train doctors on how to run a business in medical school.
No,
They're
right.
not trained on that to the point I started my own conference called the 4S Summit. Maybe you and your health coaches should come. The 4S Summit. And it's a 2.5 day business conference. Down and dirty, how to run a business, how to run a business, how to scale a business, how to be efficient. And it's because nobody's out there teaching it. And so, to your point, you get a degree or you get a certificate, and then you're like, okay, well, now what? Well,
Right.
the now what piece is for people to be successful, there is an art to psychology. There's an art to shifting a mindset. There's an art in asking the right questions. There's an art in overcoming objections. There's an art in overcoming price.
Hmm.
It's never about the price. It's usually bullshit, right? They haven't seen enough value.
Right.
And so how do I get them? How do we ask the right questions? I think most people, and this is in anybody selling anything. I teach this communication method. It's called listen, acknowledge, explore, and respond.
Hmm.
And if you think about it, it's listen, acknowledge. So the L and the R are up and down.
Okay.
People listen to respond. I don't listen with intention. People don't listen with intention. Like, what is Omar really saying?
Hmm.
If you ask good questions and you're able to acknowledge and say, Omar, thank you so much for sharing. Based on what I heard you saying is, you're 45, you're overweight, whatever, like repeating it back. We asked the client enough questions. I'm going to repeat it back. I'm going to show you some empathy. I'm going to acknowledge what you said based on what I heard you saying in order to get you the result of losing 40 pounds, whatever that is. Okay. Now then you as the coach, you're tying it to the result. In
Yeah.
an effort, Omar, to get you this result, it's going to require this treatment plan. Same words I use. ABC, 1, 2, 3,
Hmm.
in this time frame, and here's what you can expect, and here's why. That's how we have to talk to people.
Right.
That's where I'm going to be like, oh my God, Omar, that sounds great. I can understand what you're telling me to do. So in this time frame, this should happen. In this time frame, this should happen. It's never about the money.
Right.
It's about the outcome. And when they can see that with your program, they're like, holy shit, I'll spend any amount of money to feel better.
Right.
To feel better. What do you want to do? Still feel and look like shit? No, nobody wants that.
Right. 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 Right.
Right?
Yeah, no, it is amazing because my first mentor, and I'll never forget it, right? Like he almost the way he framed it was just it just clicked, right? And people are gonna spend money on what they need to spend money on, right? And if you have a job and your car breaks down and that's the means to getting you to work, you're
Right.
gonna find the money
Yeah.
to fix the car,
Right.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that always stuck with me. It's like, yeah, I really love that you people understand it. They'll pay anything. It
Yeah.
really comes down to that to get to where
Mhm.
they want to go at the end of
Well,
the
I
day.
use a different analogy too. Think about first class,
Hmm.
right? Whether someone can afford it or not, it's always full.
Yeah.
Why? I want to lay down. I want to get a drink. I want to be comfortable. Right? People
Yeah.
pay. Statistics show people will pay 35% more when they find the value.
Hmm.
And it's not that they have to be wealthy. That's not true at all. But when somebody really, like to your point, when they're if the car's the only way to go to work or get their kids from school, they're going to find a way to fix the car.
Yeah.
And so it's the same concept, I think. But to your point, when you originally asked me, how do we do it? I think there's just a lack of training in the industry, whether it's your industry, my industry,
Yeah.
any sales industry. There's just a lack of how,
I agree.
really how. Mhm.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Because I mean, if you think in, like I said, any industry, it's yeah, it'll teach you how to do whatever it is that you do.
Right,
Be a doctor,
right,
lawyer, whatever.
right.
And then, all right, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is the analogy I use. I'm like, I'm not here to teach you how to play the game. I'm teaching you here how to win the game,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You might know how to do the surgery, but you don't know how to get me to spend all the money.
Right, right, right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So med spas are big. I know that a lot of health coaches are very much interested in just opening up like their own facilities,
Yeah.
definitely incorporated some of these things. And I guess because listen, you've been so great. I mean, I can't believe we're like almost 30 minutes
Oh,
in.
I know. I know. It's like we can talk for hours, right? It's
No, we
crazy.
really can. Maybe I come grab you for a part two down the road. I'd love
For
to
sure.
to pick your brain on many other things. But what do you see as like the trends, right? And again, like one of the things that I think that I've always been interested in is like you said, creating the value. How, like, what is like one of these hot trends right now in that space where, say, a health coach who may aspire to open up something, what are some hot things, especially coming out of LA, which is usually the hub of like cool stuff that
Yeah.
eventually comes to the East Coast eventually.
I think, look, you're in a hot city too. Look, the hot trend, it's not even a trend. I mean, peptides,
Yeah,
hormones, GLP-1s, all these Ozempic and right, tirzepatide and Mounjaro, all these weight loss meds are, and they're not really weight loss, but right, we know what they're being used for.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's causing a ton of hype. People are looking amazing, losing a lot of weight. Now, on the same token, losing muscle mass. So
Mhm,
it is a fine line between health, meaning how do I eat, my diet, my exercise, my sleep, my water, all of that. But if anybody's wanting to get into it, that's the thing. Even traditional med spas that offer lasers and fillers and Botox and facials are offering now getting into more of this integrative wellness.
mhm,
That's the big hype. And then it's then you then we have to draw it together because it's not one or the other. I could be on, Ozempic or tirzepatide, and then I'm going to lose a bunch of weight. Now I have saggy skin. Now
mhm.
I need skin tightening. I have facial loss volume. I need fillers. So we have to bring together it's bringing it together because it's not this or that. It's a comprehensive treatment plan so patients get the holistic, right, outcome. And that requires different skill sets, different talents, different, expertise.
I'm glad you said that because I have a health coach buddy of mine, very successful. And she was complaining that Ozempic is gonna put her out of business. And I was like, I don't think so. Like I think that, like you said, especially what you just mentioned,
Yeah.
it's coming back to holistic things.
I mean, it's coming back. I think that was the jump start for sure. I mean, absolutely. But there's another side to that. That can't be used as a crutch.
Right, right, right. No, I
Right.
agree.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And so I think it's a matter of, again, that messaging so that people don't just feel like, oh, I get my vial in the mail and I'm going
Right.
to do my weekly shot and now I'm skinny. Well, are you skinny fat? Right? Like, wait, let's talk about the rest. Let's talk about what you need to eat and how much protein and what kind of vitamins and what kind of peptides and is your hair falling out? Like, there's a whole host of things
Yeah, yeah.
that all have to be talked about.
Yeah, and I think again, just like I know, if you just go to the gym for the first time, just that habit of going to the gym creates other things in your life.
Yeah,
You want to eat healthy, you want to have more sleep, you want to have, yeah, all these other things. So
right.
kind of the same thing. It's like just because that's doing great and people are seeing fantastic results, that actually makes people more motivated to learn more about mental health and
Absolutely.
wellness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just yeah, creates opportunity, but we have to be aware of what that is. Mhm.
Oh, absolutely. Terry, you've been fantastic.
Thank you. I know this was so fun. I know this was really great. Thank you so much for having me. I hope I put some valuable pearls out there for your audience. And
Oh, absolutely. And I want to give you an opportunity because I'm sure they're going to want to know more. And I want to give you an opportunity to show your website, social media handle,
yeah.
anything that you want to share with us so we could keep up with all the great stuff that
For sure. Thank you, Omar. So yes, you can visit terryrossconsulting.com is my website. Same with my Instagram, Terry Ross Consulting. I have a YouTube channel as well. I put out a lot of training. I have a podcast as well called In Touch with Terry. So a lot of business information that I put out that I think will be valuable for your audience too.
awesome.
Yeah, you guys can check it out. And if you want to set up a call, if our team can support your team or any of you guys in any way to help you guys figure out how to scale, we're happy to help you out any way we can.
Man, appreciate that. Thank you again so much for
Thank you,
joining the
Omar.
show and enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, honey, you too. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed listening to today's episode of the Health Coach Academy podcast. If you did, jump over to iTunes and leave a rating and or review. It goes a long way in helping get this message out to our fellow health coaches and people in our industry. Also, if you can, jump over to my website, omarcumberbatch.com, where I give out a lot of freebies, including my 5-day sugar challenge for people who are having issues with sugar. And also for health coaches, I have the book, Hidden. It's the 6 not so obvious ways to get your clients unstuck. Have a great day.